Food plot 2.0. We're into the wall now, the existing food plot wall on the opposite side. And we're bringing it back to about here, and all that material is going to get piled here. And then the existing food plot is just on the other side of that post. There's already existing food plot, and all that material there is going to come this way. I'll get you guys a view from the other side and show you what we're doing here. Okay, we're on the other side. We got some Tacticam cameras. One back there facing north, and one right here facing south. This was the existing food plot from the previous year. We piled a bunch of material over there, a little bit over here, and then we put the material here, which was the material that was inside the pit here. So now we're opening that and putting the material way back there where that stump is. So we're gonna get another, I'm hoping half an acre, and it's gonna be pretty close to 2 acres now. Should be right around 2 acres, maybe a little bit better, but a solid 2 acres. And it goes all the way. Kept these trees because the deer like to crisscross through the trees, you know, deer like cover. We're gonna get rid of that, gonna get him to grab that and drag it. It's a little bit of ways, but we gotta get that out of there. And then the food plot goes around there. From this tree to the bank, probably about 35 yards. So now we're gonna push that way back there where those maples are and open it up. And we're just about to come through the wall here. We got lots of material to move. There's tons of material in that bank. So we're in the heart of the food plot 2.0. The old food plot ended right there. That chunk of material is probably about 20 feet wide going into the food plot. So that's the old food plot back there, goes in behind here. And we're gonna be cleaning all this up and we're putting it back here. Just a massive wall. Material's gotta go somewhere. So we're gonna keep it pretty much right from there. He's gonna clean all this up all the way across. And I told him not to go past that big maple there, so hopefully we can keep it. He's got a little bit more room right there. Got some nice conifers, spruce, and cedars. And we're gonna keep this point, a little bit of this point. We're gonna take out some of this material over here. Got tons of material. Look at that pile. That pile's bigger than me. It's like 8 feet. We're gonna take out this little corner right here, all the way to these trees. Hopefully pull those right out and leave all these standing. Kind of give it like a point. Kind of be like a heart. You know, that's down the chest cavity. And you got a big hook in there and a big hook in here. We're gonna have hopefully deer coming right down from in here, right down. That's that maple right there. So hopefully from that to that, we'll get deer coming down. It's the same opening over here, pretty much from this corner right to there is the opening, because then there's a swamp in there off this point here. And that's that material over there. We'll take a little view from over there on the hill and I'll show you guys looking, this is looking north, the other way we'll be looking south, but we're opening it up pretty good in here. All this has got to get cleaned up, tons of work to do still. We got tons of material. We probably added about a half an acre, I want to say, and it looks like good dirt. Like there's no rocks, there's no sand, it's just black earth. That's how it was out here, so I decided to expand it a little bit more. Why not? You only live once. So it's black earth. It looks pretty good. Everything was pretty good. We had a 7.2 pH, which was amazing. So not a single piece of lime did we need, not a granulate. Lots to clean up there. So this is the old food plot right now. We'll take a look from that berm over there when we get there. We got the skidoo. There's about 2 feet of snow. Got to get this material. This is the corner of the existing food plot. We're gonna get rid of this material, get rid of that material, rake all this back, and we're gonna go to that back wall, and that'll be pretty high. It'll be another, it'll probably be another 10 feet, 15 feet higher than it is, and it's probably already 20 feet tall. We're gonna try to walk it out, but I don't wanna walk it out too much because I don't wanna make it too skinny. So there's black earth back there, so we want to make it as big as possible, but we don't want to infringe on the woods behind. Nice young woods. It's not thick like this, like cedar. That's what was here and it all blew down. We got nice maples in the back. Look at that sun. That's gonna be perfect south. East is right there. It's kind of covered, the short side of the food plot, but you know, in the middle, you got lots of sun. So it's a little bit short, but the deer like that thick stuff. We got some low thick stuff with some amazing small maples in the back. This year we're gonna snap that, leave this little cluster, and right there you can see there's a shooting house that's super old, about 10 years. Right there is where the deer are gonna come out of, they've been coming out of, or they go all the way around. And just around this corner, it goes in to about right there, and there all the way around to here is open. And then there's a little bit of a wall there, and in this corner there's another exit, maybe about 20-30 feet wide, that the deer have been taking, and they go right into this heavy swamp area. So that's it. Get you a little view from over there. We were standing right in there. So this is the existing food plot. Goes all the way here, around there. There's my little test cage right there. There's a reveal tacticam right there on that tree. The food plot goes all the way down to that ripped out tree. We're gonna grab that and bring that all the way back there too, get rid of that. And this wall, he poked a hole there, you guys saw that. That wall came to there and went straight across to there. So we're gonna pull out the rest of that and this whole corner and put that back there, as well as that little chunk right there. We're gonna put that back there, and then that ripped out tree. We're at maybe 1.25 acres existing, and now with that little spot in the back, moves farther back, it should bring us pretty close to 2 acres, I'm hoping. It's all good dirt, and that's why we wanted to make the food plot bigger. This farm here is 100 acres, and this is the only spot where there's earth. Everywhere else it's rocky, it's sand, like heavily wood. There's no ag here, there's no crops, there's no fields. This is pure forest. Right around us is just forest. I'm sure somebody has a small food plot here and there, but I don't know, I'd say within a few kilometers of this opening here where there's going to be a food plot, there's nothing this size anywhere near. And the only way I know that is through Google Map. You go on Google Map and you look around, it's just all woods. Now Google Map isn't updated for a few years. Why? Because I know of structures that are built now that aren't there on Google Map. But I do know of structures that were built at a certain time, which was a few years ago, that are on Google Map. So process of elimination, Google Map is maybe about 4 or 5 years behind from updating their pictures of landscape just through process of elimination. For example, this opening is not on Google Map, and it's only 1.5 years old, and you would definitely see this opening on Google Map. It's huge. So that's a little bit of that. And one real good thing is, as you can tell way on the far side, like that has a lot of cedars, maples. You can tell the cedars up top. You got the big canopy. There's some birch in there, white birch, yellow birch, cedars, oaks, maples, spruce, pines. It's very thick, pretty much right around. Like you can tell it's pretty thick. There's some maples in there, but there's a lot of cedars, and that's east right there. So the sun comes up all across and then goes down right about there. That's about west. So that's pretty much south right there, somewhere in that corner. So when the sun pokes out, the tips of those trees shade the food plot right here. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that for a little bit until it gets right up high. But over here, the trees, as you can tell, are way lower. See how low they are? And then they go up over here, more mature trees. So there were some cedars here that were higher, but now because there's all maples, the sun penetrates through there a little bit better than the cedars. I'm sure in the summer the foliage will block more of the sun, but by pushing that, you know, 1/3 of an acre, it's probably, I don't know, I'd say like 70 by 70, pretty much about a 1/2 acre opening over there. By pushing that farther back and knocking those cedars down that were like that were all leaned up, As you can tell, there's a whole bunch still leaning up in there. Those are all nice trees, all nice trees. So we just cleaned up this whole mess. We got to pile it somewhere. We can't bring it out by truck. It would cost like 5 times the cost, and there's no way you could get a truck down here. This is super, super wet. We're gonna put a grate on it because as you can tell, it's flat and it's a bowl. Like all the way around, it's high. It's high, kind of levels off there, but it's high. All the way around, it's high. You can see it's way higher than it is there. That's lots of elevation. That's probably like 15 feet of elevation, and it goes like that all the way around. Now over here, there's a swamp. As you can tell, all the trees are dead. So we're gonna try to grade it into there, and from there into there. We're gonna make a little bit of a ditching, a little bit of grading, because what happens is all this snow melts. All this snow melts, and there's like 2-3 feet of snow we usually get here. It all melts from up there and it runs into here. And March, April, May, there's anywhere between a foot to sometimes even 2 feet of water in here as soon as everything melts. And we can't plant anything. We can't get in here. We're not able to plant first week of June. Last year was the first year we planted in here. And unfortunately, we could only plant, I think it was August 10th or 14th, and our brassicas grew about 8 inches. That's it. They had a nice golf ball size bulb on them, so it was very promising. Like I said, we do have a 7.1 pH in here. Everything's good with our soil test, and I got a little bit of material here, a little bit of material there, a little bit of material there. I'm sure over there is good. We can redo the soil test. The only thing it was lacking from an absolutely 100% score, which I'm truly blessed, is potash. That's the only thing we were missing, and I think we needed like 200 pounds of potash would bring us to where we need to be. Besides that, this spot does not need anything. Doesn't need no fertilizer, does not need any lime. It does not need anything. This ground is super, super rich. So we're truly blessed that the storm happened here, knocked down pretty much just 2-acre cedar thicket. This was all cedars in here, nothing but cedars, the odd birch, the odd maple, but it was all cedars. We piled them all right here where I'm standing on. It's a big pile of timber way over there, all the way to there, big pile of timber. There's some more timber along this edge, and then we're putting the existing pile used to go as a L shape, a 90 from there to there, and we're getting that and we're reversing it. We're doing it like that and like that. So we're making like a back 90 corner. So pretty much from there all the way around to here is open. Then there's a wall, but I have deer coming right over this wall. You know, they use like a little bit of a hill. Deer go right into there. There's a little bit of an opening, then it's pretty rough there. That's a 90. And then there's an opening right there, maybe about 40-50 yards across, going inside that corner. And then there'll be a 90 wall back there. And then pretty much from that corner right there, where we were near that maple, somewhere in there, from there, all in behind there, it'll conjoin and that'll be open. So for the most part, it's about 70% open. We had to put the material somewhere, so that was the best spot that we could put it. And we're gonna make it happen here. I can't wait. When it's leveled off, I really hope all this snow drains into here. It always gets wet in there, but it pools here really bad. So we're gonna level that off, put a grade on it after it's leveled, and also put a little bit of ditching in here as well so that the water can run off. Tomorrow the guy will be back. We had a leaky cylinder on the thumb today, on the little thumb on the excavator, to grab the brush and drop it. Starts spraying hydraulic fluid. We had to bring it back up to the front. Welder came, tacked it up, and they decided to call it a day at 3:30. Welder was on another job. Things happened. It took him about an hour and a half to get here. Welded it up. It's all good. Tomorrow morning, we're going to fill up the machine. We only burned about a quarter tank. So tomorrow we'll fill up the machine and hopefully hit it hard for a good 6 hours and get pretty close to finishing this this addition to the 2.0 food plot. This fall will be the second year for this food plot, so I'm hoping that we can really get this planted in good. June 1st It was just way too wet in here. I came in here with my four-wheeler in June, even July. I came in here with my four-wheeler and I came down from there. It's rocky, but right there it gets dirt. And I came in here and I just buried right here in about 2 feet of earth. Just mucky, swampy, quicksand earth. It's super deep. Getting out, I had to get my dad to winch me out from over there. It was about like 20 feet, 30 feet for the cable, but winched out, and I was down maybe like 1.5 feet in just pure earth, and it just kept going, like no bottom. So it's going to be amazing for those tap roots to just blast down there. We just need the time. We got the moisture, we got the earth, so that's a win. The most deer I had in here last year was 7 deer I had in here on camera. There were 6 does and fawns and 1 buck, and I caught it on that camera over there. I'll see if I can find the picture and I'll post it in here. And it was pretty crazy. It was in October and they were in here eating all the heads of the brassicas. And I was truly blessed for that. So 2.0 coming soon. We'll get you tomorrow when we start. Day 2 of the food plot. We got lots of material to move. Food plot 2.0. Check that out. We knocked down this tree yesterday, and last night we had deer. We got fresh tracks here inside of my tracks. They came and they browsed all the little buds off this maple. Fresh. Take a look at this branch right here. This is a branch off the tree. They polished it. All those juicy little buds. Look at all the little buds they pulled off. Every single one. We're just on the back side of the new food plot. You know, making these piles of brush, some people say this scares the deer. Deer won't come close. But we're also making new habitat. Like, look in there and look under there. That's great for rabbits. And the rabbits are already out. There's a little bit of rabbit poop right there. A little bit of rabbit poop. And this is all from last night because we got fresh snow. Some rabbit activity. Lots of rabbit tracks. Those are rabbit tracks. More feces right there, right there. So we got rabbits, we got deer, we got grouse. This is that fresh deer track from last night that we're walking in. And this is right behind where we're piling all the brush. There's some more rabbit feces. Deer trail goes that way. So this is the backside. You know, we're creating new habitat, diverse habitat. You know, you're gonna get small games tuck in on the backside of this, on the inside when there's food. It's coming out pretty good. At the beginning of the video, we opened up that whole bank, that whole 90. It's completely gone. And we've moved it back there. This pile needs to be moved still, obviously all that. This pile in the back is staying. That big pile across the back. So we got all this material to still move. But we made it to the front and we're walking our way back now. It's a process. Super thick, that's east right there. The sun comes up, probably right about there. Comes right across. She's right there right now. And it's about 1 o'clock. And then it sets just back here. So now that this cedar clump is gone, cedar's there, all small hardwoods in the back, we're gonna get all that sun right till it goes down. So that's gonna increase our sun in the plot, which is gonna help grow the food and dry up the food plot quicker. It's really low here, like we talked, because we're in a bit of a depression. It's all high all around us. All that snow melts in here, and it's literally a pool of water in here. So we're gonna have to trench it this way into the swamp here behind us. That'll be our next job after this. But it looks good. Hopefully we get most of it done today. Quick little update. We still got to get rid of that bank over there to to the tree line. Quite a bit of material over there. It's getting there. Just about done. A little bit more material, square that off. He's up top right now. Man, there's a lot of earth and trees and twigs to move, but it should pay off. We're gonna get a lot of sun through those maples right there. That's about high noon, 1 o'clock right there. So we're gonna get a lot of sun, dry out the plot, and give a lot of sun to the seeds once they're growing. It's turned out to be huge now. It's got to be close to 2 acres. Machine's on its way out, and we just got it all done. There's a Tacticam right there, X Pro. There it is. Man, that was a lot of material. That is a massive wall there, but we tucked it in pretty nicely. I would say from the snow to that pile, it looks kind of deceiving, but I would say that's about 80 yards. I'd say 70 to 90 yards from that edge of that snow to that pile. It only went up to there. We took all that whole 90 in the beginning of the video, plus all the trees in the background. We kept that little pocket open right there from that big maple over, nice little pocket. Left some trees in there, little point, little round V point there. And then there's a little bit of a pocket there, point there, comes through here, back across. So we just have one wall right there now, and we opened it up. We probably gained about a 1/4 acre, I would say, if not a little better, 1/4 to 1/3 of an acre. So hopefully now we're at about 2 acres. Hopefully. So it goes from there all the way around, all the way back to there, around this corner, along that big pile. That's more material right there. All the way just behind those trees. It's a little swampy there. We're going to be ditching it in May. In May, we're going to be ditching it a little bit. We're going to come in with a 2-ton or a 5-ton smaller machine. Little island of trees here because the deer like to cover. So a little island of trees. Then it goes along the bottom. Just before that stump this way is the end of the plot, because then it gets rocky going up the hill. It changes. There's our camera. Goes all the way around. Just a little bit down into that little bowl. Comes back around. Hooks back in. Comes around. Hooks back in. Goes deep into there. Comes across and back across. So that's it. That's as big as we can make it. Can't make it any bigger. Now we just got to ditch it and plant for the 2025 season. We're going to get it measured, and I'm hoping that it's 2 acres right on the dot. I'd be happy if it was a little bit more, but I think 2 acres by the time you measure all the little ins and outs and stuff like that. We got about 2 acres. Super excited. We're going to get it ditched, and hopefully we can plant early this year. Instead of August, we can plant in June 1st. Here in northeastern Ontario. If you like this video, some heavy machinery, some food plot creations, give me a like, share, subscribe, comment down below if you're in northeastern Ontario, specifically Echo Bay and Sault Ste. Marie area. Let me know if you want a big machinery at your place. I know the guy very good and he can help you out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time when we got the little machine in here. Finessing it, grading it, ditching it, getting the drainage, and then we'll be planting it hopefully June. We'll catch you then for the 2025 whitetail deer season. Thanks for watching.